What's going on, guys? It's Fear Turbo here, and today we're going to talk about my new series called Out of the Box. Now, Out of the Box is going to be a series based around just pretty much not best in slot gear. It's just about gear that helps the game be healthy in diversity and really give an opportunity to different unique playstyles. Now, this gear and these builds, they're not going to net the most DPS, hence why they're not best in slot. But best in slot really only means like one or two, ways of building a stamina character. Like whether it be Night Mothers and then your other team members are using Twiceborn. There's really no variety in that. So these are going to be different, they're going to be unique, and they're going to be very effective at just being different. And they're going to net very good DPS. I wouldn't put them out if they didn't net, reasonable DPS. So, that being said, let's jump right into the Poison Knight. Now, we're going to use 5, 5, 2. So, 2 5-pieces and a monster helm. We can achieve this because we're not going to use the VMA weapons. So, the first one is the Poison Serpent. Now, it lacks... The thing I don't like about this is it doesn't have crit. It just doesn't have crit. And you really need a lot of crit in stand builds. Pretty much any build. But what it does do is your light and heavy attacks against an opponent that has poison damage applied on them, you have a 25% chance to deal 8k poison damage at purple. This effect can occur once every 1 second. So what happens is we use heavy attacks. Now, dual wield heavy attacks hit 2 times, one for each weapon. So what happens is when we heavy attack, we now make this set have a 25% chance to proc on the first one or the second one, really boosting its chance to proc. I tried this set out with just a normal rotation doing light attacks. It just doesn't proc enough. 25% chance is pretty dang big, but it just didn't proc enough. I even had someone constantly keeping up poison damage on the target, and it just wouldn't proc. All I did was light attack, and it just wasn't proccing enough. Now, heavy attacks really help this thing out. Dual with heavy attacks really help this thing out, and this is pretty unique to DK because they have a lot of poison damage, and pretty unique to heavy attacks and dual in general. So the next set we're going to do is the PvP Cancer... No, I'm just kidding. The Necklace of the Viper. So the Viper set. So what this does is this really gives us the crit that we need, along with a static damage for our wind-ups on our heavy attacks. Like every 4 seconds, we're doing, 8k tooltip damage that can crit. So while this is static, it is helping our DPS because we're doing these long animations of heavy attacks. Now, if ZOS decides that because of PvP that this needs to be a dot, is what I've been hearing, this will actually benefit PvE usage of this set, in my opinion, because it has more chance to increase your damage per second rather than just every 4 seconds it starts this 8k hit. I don't know if they would change. They would have to change how long it would just depend on how long the dot would last and how all that works. But right now, does 8k tooltip damage every 4 seconds, pretty much. We're gonna use 3 jewelry and 2 daggers. The reason we're going 2 daggers and not a dagger and an axe is because we just want to crit. These heavy attacks take so long to wind up. We want them to crit because they hit so damn hard. Like they can hit up to I was doing in my self-test, it was like 1 hit for 15 and the other 1 hit for 12. So in a raid, it would be even more. So you're basically doing anywhere from 28 to I don't even know the ceiling of how high these can go. So you could say 30 plus k damage every swing of your heavy if they crit. It's pretty ridiculous. I think it's cool. It's like using an execute basically all the time and we'll go into CP and how we've worked it out. But our other pieces is Velodreth. Now Velodreth you don't really see this in builds because there's other sets that do better. You know, Krag or Stamsorks use Stormfist, and it's just not used in the in game. But it is very unique, and that's why I put this here. It's just a different way of playing. You know, it's pretty cool when it pops out too. Seeing those balls come out and really blow shit up because they do hit. It hits really high. It's got 13k tooltip damage, which is insane. And this thing can hit up to like 25k, maybe even more. On your back bar, you can use any bow. You don't have to use a Maelstrom bow, although Maelstrom bow would be the best. You could use a Master bow. You can use a crafted sharpened bow. Honestly, it doesn't matter here. So let's go into how this build works with the skills. So basically this build works is we have a bunch of dots and we just do heavy attacks. Now we do heavy attack dot, heavy attack dot. So we're going to do heavy attacks and dots. So Rending Slashes from the Dual Tree. Venomous Claw is a great single target dot. It also is poison damage, which is going to help our set because we need them to be damaged by poison. Now in a trial, there's going to be injections everywhere, so you pretty much don't have, don't be worrying about the downtime of the poison damage. We have Deadly Cloak. Now you could put Noxious Breath here. Also, when you go and do First Trash, you'll want to put Steel Tornado here. Or if you wanted to do Flying Blade as like another spammable, so like you do a heavy attack Flying Blade is also pretty nice. It's just up to you. I'm just going to do heavy attacks and dots. So I'm going to do heavy attack, dot, dot. And this skill right here is what makes our heavy attacks and unique to DK is Molten Armaments. This thing boosts your heavy attack damage by 40% for 40 seconds basically. And it makes the heavy attacks hit really hard. And also it gives you stamina back when you use it. So not that we're needed on a heavy attack build, but it is really nice. Right here. There it is. And then we have Evil Hunter on this bar to give us weapon damage while slotted from the Fighters Guild passives. We have Flawless Dawnbreaker giving us 5% plus the 3% slotted. On our back bar, we got Injection, another source of poison damage. Endless Hell, very good. Trap, must have. It's the best dot in the game for stamina. It does so much damage for such a short amount of time. See how these are 10 seconds? 10.5 seconds, 9 seconds. This does such a huge amount of damage in the 6-second time, which is really nice. Plus it gives us minor force. Caltrops is a flex spot. Again, you could put this here. And Flames of Oblivion so that we keep our crit buff. And it deals really good damage. Even though it's flame damage, it deals good damage. Standard of Might just boosts your damage by 20%. I tried Rend on the front bar and Flawless on the back bar, which is also good. So if you just want more healing, just go ahead and use Rend. Doesn't really matter. They both netted around the same increase of damage because this did more damage and then Standard boosted your damage. So it really doesn't matter, just whatever way you want to play. So that's the gear. And that's really the thought process. You want to do heavy attacks, dot, heavy attacks, dot, heavy attacks, dot. And then do a heavy attack, swap bar. Put your dots down, injection, Flames of Oblivion, swap bar. Heavy attack, dot, heavy attack, dot. And I highly suggest Surrender for these buff trackers right here. So you can see, when your buffs, what dots need to be reapplied. Before I forget, this set is found in Hellraw. Veladreth is found in Cradle of Shadows. And Viper is found in Fungal Grotto. And before I forget again, let's just buff up. 16k health. Now you can put some points into health. That way you don't get one shot. 17.5, 18k health is good to have. So you can, if you don't want to be on the floor, put some more points in health. Almost 38k stam, 36k weapon damage. If I upgraded my gear, it'd probably be like 75.2% or 3% crit. We're using the Thief, and we're using this food, the blue stamina health food, along with weapon damage power pots. It just gives us the weapon damage, the major savagery, the stamina back. It's just your standard potions for trials across all tunes. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, best race. Khajiit. Hands down Khajiit. Because you don't need the stamina. You don't need stamina regen. You don't need the max stamina. You just want your crit to be so high that your weapon, that your dual attacks have like such a high chance to crit. Because they hit so hard. So Khajiit. Orc is also a really good race for this too. Because everything is melee damage. And we're just going to smack that shit. We're just going to heavy attack. So 4% increased damage on melee attacks might be pretty good. I haven't tested, but it might be pretty good. And then after that, just pretty much any stamina race. Imperial, Redguard, Orc. I'm sorry, you said Orc. Bosmer, Dark Elf. Really doesn't matter. We're just doing heavy attacks. Although I would say Khajiit and then Orc would probably be the best. Alright, let's go into CP. So for CP, I did 100 in Mighty. I did 48 in Precise Strikes. Because we just want to amp our crit. Khajiit would be so perfect. And then 39 into Thaumaturge because we do have a lot of dots. Now, you could put points in here, and I did test the difference between taking them out of here and putting them in here. I even tested this passive right here, but I'm not sure if it's buggy because of the scaling with this skill. But I did not see much increase with putting points into here. I did not see a damage increase, even with this. So I don't know. I will have to do further testing, and I'll post on my Twitter, which I will link in the description. But I just didn't see a DPS increase overall for swapping them out of here. So this is pretty much a safe bet, especially if you just want to, swap to Maelstrom weapons and do something else. Obviously, I have no penetration because this is for like a trial group, and you really don't need points into piercing. So if your team has buffs, this doesn't matter. It's preference to what content you're doing. Now this is where it gets kind of juicy. So we just have, stamina cost reduction, but I have 62 points in a magician. Now, why is that? Well, this thing costs a crap ton, and it used to cost 4,300, and this costs like 3,000 something. If you look at my magicka, I only have 9k magicka. So sometimes when I'm doing my rotation, I get to my back bar. If I had done 2 Flames of Oblivion and then tried to reapply this, I just wouldn't have the magicka, and so I would have downtime on this skill or this skill. One of them would suffer, and I don't want any of them to suffer. So basically I just put points into there so that I can use at least 3 rotations, at least 3 skills, almost 4 basically. So that will never happen. You'll never have downtime on any of the magicka skills. And for this tree, we're going to put 25 points in tenacity, so we get even more stand back on heavy attacks, which is nice. Then we have nothing in this tree, nothing in this tree, and that's it. So guys, if you like this build, if you like this series where we go through and we use gear that really isn't talked about or even mentioned, like at all, If you like this series, please, share it, like, subscribe, comment, give me some feedback. I'd love to keep doing more of these. These are fun. Like, look at that. Ripperoni. 19k Velodreth. Like, come on. So guys, like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment and below. Tell me which one's your favorite. I've got 3 coming out. 3 of these types of builds using different gear, combinations of this gear. And tell me if you like the idea besides heavy attacks. Like, your stamina is just going to be so full. Like, you won't have any sustain problems at all. So guys, I hope everyone has a good day. I'll see you in the next video.